Your comfort zone is the invisible bubble that keeps you from the life you want. This is you. This is your comfort zone. Man, I would really love to ask that girl out, but she's not going to like me. I'm not going to say anything. You don't leave the comfort zone. You don't get the girlfriend. Man, I would love to go to college, but people like me don't go to college. Knowing that my family has done it, there's no way I could. You don't leave the comfort zone. You don't get the degree. I would love to get that job. I would love to start that business. I would love to be an entrepreneur, but knowing that my family's done it, 95% of businesses fail, it's too hard, I don't know how. You don't leave the comfort zone, you don't get the money. I would love to get that big house. I would love to live in a different city. I would love to travel the world. I would love to do that, but I could never afford it. It's too expensive. I don't know how to get the money for that. People like me don't get, knowing that my family owned their own house. Point again. You don't leave the comfort zone. You don't own your house. You don't get the car. You don't start going to the gym. All of these things. Now, obviously, there has to be a reason why we do this. And the reason as to why it's so hard for us to leave our comfort zone is our brain wants to keep us alive. I have said this time and time again, but your brain is a wet computer and its job is to keep you alive. And the comfort zone is what you're familiar with. Your comfort zone is everything that is normal to you. Things that are regular to you. Things that you consider safe. So, working a certain job. A lot of people, they work the same type of job their whole life because that's what they're comfortable with. That's what they're familiar with. And that's not a good or a bad thing. It's just, this is what I'm used to. So when they do something outside of that, it is scary. It is unfamiliar. I don't know any business owners. I don't know anyone who works as an engineer. So when you go and do that, it's scary to you. If you've never walked over to someone and said, hey, my name's Lawrence, I think you're cute, I want to get your number. Obviously, don't say that exact thing. That's a little too forward. But if you've never walked over to someone and said, hey, I like your shoes, my name's Lawrence, what's yours? Then going over to that girl and asking her out would be really scary to you. If you've never gone to the gym, then the first time you go, you're going to feel really nervous. You're going to start thinking, what if people laugh at me? What if they judge me, right? Another reason is in the past, something may have happened that caused you to feel afraid and nervous to try. So maybe you did try to ask somebody out and they laughed at you. They made fun of you. You felt really upset and hurt. Maybe you tried to get a certain job that you really wanted and they said no and you took it personally. And over time, these experiences teach us what is and is not worth trying and what is and is not safe. Now, obviously, safe doesn't just mean dangerous. It means emotionally painful. It means risky. It means a lot of things. So, instead of trying to stay inside of our bubble, we need to leave it in order to get the stuff we want. Because if what you want is outside of your comfort zone, you have to be willing to get out of it. You have to be willing to dare to dream. That's the first step. Allow yourself to imagine, what would my life be like if I did? Like, what would life be like if I actually had that thing? And at this point, a lot of people will start to think about, well, yeah, I would love to have that, but I grew up in this environment, knowing that my family's done it. We have all of these reasons why we can't. And those reasons, They stop us from even imagining what life could be like because we get so conditioned to stay where it's comfortable that the thought of going to college, the thought of creating a better life, the thought scares people. So they run back to the comfort zone. Now, the next reason why is because, and this is unfortunate, but usually a lot of the time we surround ourselves with people that keep us in the bubble. You might tell your friend, hey, I'm going to start going to the gym. And they're like, oh, really? I'm going to start that business. Really? Oh. And then you start trying. And then they say something slick, like, how'd that little business going? Oh, you really start going to the gym. You see how if you surround yourself with people who tear down your dreams, it makes it hard for you to keep going and get out there? Now, another reason why people have a hard time leaving their comfort zone is because we try to leap out of it. We try to make these massive jumps instead of, I'm going to take tiny steps. You take these little tiny steps instead. Figure out what is the big goal that I'm trying to achieve, and then break it down into what is the smallest step I can take today. Instead of trying to go to make $1 million next month, how about this month I start the business? How about this month I post about the product? I make a YouTube video about the product. You have to figure out what's the big thing that you want to do and then break it into really small steps. Because trying to run before you can stand, you're doing too much too fast. And that scares people because when you start to go too deep too fast, you can begin to feel like you're constantly failing. And when people feel like they're constantly failing, they start to feel like I am a failure. And that idea of I'm a failure, I'm doomed, I'm stuck, I'm not going to be able to achieve that thing, it, again, pulled them right on back into the comfort zone because they try to go too far too fast. This is why, in the example I used earlier, I said, instead of trying to make $1 million next month, how about we try to make $1? Because you need to have evidence and proof that it's worth trying. Now, this can be very different for different people because the environment you grow up in, certain situations that you've been through, experiences in life, etc., etc. So I'm trying to make this video apply to as many people as possible. But if you want direct one-on-one help with this, you can look in the description below and there'll be a link to get a coaching call with me where I can give you direct one-on-one advice on your situation. But back to the point. And I'm going to use myself as an example for this right here. So when I first started making YouTube videos, this was me right here. 16-year-old Lawrence. Now, you see, what I wanted was, that's my comfort zone right there. The things I wanted at 16 were way out of my comfort zone. I wanted to travel the country, public speaker, author, have my own office. And these are all things I've done. So at 16, that stuff was way out there. Like there was no, I could imagine it, but it just felt so far away. The reason why was because inside of my comfort zone, I felt nervous. I was shy. I was insecure of my voice. I overthought a lot. Fear of failure. Nobody in my family has done it. I didn't have the right microphone or webcam or any of that, so I felt like unprepared. Not confident. And so many other things. So you see how my comfort zone was keeping me trapped here, but the stuff I wanted was way out here. So how did I grow out of that shy, nervous, insecure comfort zone and eventually expand my comfort zone to be able to have all the stuff I wanted that was way out there? One day at a time. You figure out what is the big thing that I want. I want a lot of money. We'll say that. So if you want a lot of money, you first of all have to figure out, well, what does that mean? What's a lot of money? You have to be clear about your goal. I want to make $150,000 per year. Okay, that's a specific goal. Now, how do you want to do that? I want to become an engineer. But, none of my family's ever going to college. I don't have money for tuition. What if people make fun of me? What if my family laughs at me? You have all these things that are keeping you inside the comfort zone. So the way you get out of it is you start to learn about that thing that you want to do. You start to get information on it. You start to expose yourself to something new. Because your comfort zone is really just everything you're familiar with. And in order to get something different, we have to become someone different. And to become someone different, we have to put different things in our mind. So if you're 16, you obviously can't go to college right now. But what you can do is go on YouTube and search up how to become an engineer. Life in the day of an engineer. And you can get really specific. Like there's different types of engineering. There are different types of, even just different types of engineering within that type of engineering. Like there is nuclear engineering, aerospace, construction. There's so many things. So when we allow ourselves to imagine, what would it be like? Now you start to plant a seed in your mind, and little by little, that seed grows just a tiny little bit per day. So what I did was I would make a video every day. And little by little, I got out the comfort zone. Then I would research how to become a public speaker. I started making progress. I would write books on my laptop. I started making progress. I would post videos on TikTok and YouTube and all that. I started making progress. And little by little, I got there. And in that process, you start to meet people who help you. I met other public speakers who helped me a lot. I found YouTube videos. I've read books. I've done a lot of things. But all of them happened one day at a time. I didn't go from here to here in a day. I didn't go from here to here in a month or a week or even a year. I went from here to here day by day over the course of the last 4 years. And if you want to if you want to get out of your comfort zone, you have to grow it. You have to expand it. You have to put yourself in unfamiliar situations until they become familiar. You have to expose yourself to new things. You have to get in the water so that you learn how to swim. You have to get in the gym, feel the muscle get tore up, and allow it to regrow. And eventually, you get comfortable with the weight. And if you want to expand the weight, if you want to be able to hold more, you pick up the heavier weight until it becomes comfortable. And then you pick up the heavier weight, and on and on and on. So to make it very simple for you, the life you want requires you to get out your comfort zone. And the way you get out your comfort zone is figure out what exactly is it that I want, and what is a small, consistent action I can do that will take me from here to here, or what is something I can do that will take me from this to the house, the car, the body, the money, the relationship, and the degree that I want. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you're looking for my books or one-on-one coaching, all of that is in the description below, as well as if you're a podcast host, school principal, or run a youth organization, and you're looking for speakers, you can contact me at lawrence@lawrenceharris.com. Have a good one.